The Justice Department has now publicly confirmed that Bob Mueller's probe will stretch past this week at a minimum. Tonight's news is that Donald Trump's already asking his own lawyers to stay on for months or years, well beyond the expected end of the Mueller probe. And why? This is why, to brace for a, quote, legal hellscape posed by open probes in the Southern District of New York, the famously independent office that was once led by Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani. Now, Mueller passed the Cohen case to those independent prosecutors, who Trump ally Chris Christie says pose special peril.
The Southern District of New York investigation is monumentally more perilous to the president than Bob Mueller ever was or ever will be. They have 2 tour guides, George, and no restriction on where they can go.
Today, Donald Trump Jr. claiming those same New York prosecutors are actually reaching past real crimes to fixate on just trying to get Trump.
So is Chris Christie wrong that the Southern...
Well, no, by the way, I'm not saying they're not going to try. You know, listen, their dream in life, this is, you know, as political as it gets, their dream in life is to try to find something to get Trump. I mean, it's that old Stalinist tactic, you know, show me the man, I'll show you the crime.
Okay, but Michael Cohen himself admitted to campaign-related crimes that were supposed to help Donald Trump. You don't need Stalinistic tactics to notice that the related probe involving the National Enquirer Company also features now public allegations of other real crimes like alleged blackmail and extortion. Trump has been concerned enough about all of this to pressure the DOJ to install a loyalist to take over the case in New York, which was reported by the New York Times, an effort to sideline the acting prosecutor in charge, a man who's not really nationally famous, but whose work already got Trump's attention. His name is Robert Khuzami, and he's charged terror plots and bankers and insider trading, and most recently he was the face touting, yes, when you think about this week's news, he was touting the flipping of Michael Cohen.
I came into the Enforcement Division, brought a record number of cases arising out of the financial crisis. I think 60 or 70 CEOs, CFOs, and high-ranking corporate officers.
The Patriot Act has helped our Homeland Security team dismantle terror cells from New York to Oregon. Today, as you heard, Michael Cohen pled guilty to 8 felony charges. For that, he was going to pay a very, very serious price.
I'm joined now by Ali Mistal, editor of Above the Law and host of the podcast Thinking Like a Lawyer, also a former practicing attorney. And he's also written for the New York Times and Daily News and knows all about these New York legal issues. And then back with us, our expert, former federal prosecutor, Joyce Vance. Thanks to both of you for being here. Ali, how important is this New York case and the man we just looked at that many viewers may not know by name because he hasn't risen to that level yet, but he could, is Khuzami.
Yeah. Because he's not a political appointee. He's a career prosecutor. He's a man with the institutional competence to see this through long after the Mueller probe goes away. Look, SDNY is the bear, and the Trump Organization is like Leonardo DiCaprio. And this time we're not sure that the bear's going to let him go. There is significant jeopardy up and down the Trump Organization from these people who, again, they've spent their careers sussing out and fighting financial crimes. And this is what Chris Christie, I can't believe I'm agreeing with him, this is what he was trying to say. While Mueller has a very limited scope, right? He's supposed to investigate Russia and maybe obstruction of justice. SDNY investigates crime.
Whatever they find in New York. You're saying in this theatrical analogy, Khuzami is the bear?
Yes,
the prosecutor.
And his office is the bear.
And Donald Trump is Leo?
At best. He better hope he's Leo. He better hope he has the wiliness, right? And Don Jr.
Let me ask you this. If he's Leo,
right,
what about Catch Me If You Can? Is he maybe a con man in Catch Me If You Can? How many Leo characters is he, is what I'm asking.
Exactly. You. Well, in that case, Khuzami is Tom Hanks, right? No, look, and Don Jr., I mean, his stuff, Don Jr. is the guy who wanders into the middle of a movie and asks what's going on. He is completely out of his element, and he has no idea. And I'm trying to be funny because it's so maddening what's going on. But Don Jr. has absolutely no idea that he is the weakest link. It's Don Jr. and Eric and Ivanka who, to my mind, are going to be the first people over the falls in terms of what SDNY is investigating.
That goes to the overlap with Mueller, and then I'm going to bring Joyce in on this. But you look at Don Jr. and the reports that he hasn't talked to Mueller yet. What does that tell you?
That tells me that he's a target. I mean, you don't interview and Joyce can speak to this as well. They don't interview targets. And so the fact that they have not brought them in for questioning yet suggests to me, A, that they're targets, and B, and this is another thing that I know people are very worried about this, I don't see how the Mueller probe even says nothing of SDNY ends until you talk to all of the children. Because either you need an indictment of those children or you need them to come and tell SDNY and Mueller what they know.
I want to get you in a segment sometime with Howard Schultz because I feel like you might drink even more coffee than him. That's the amount of energy I'm getting off you.
Yeah,
and
I would also like to talk to Howard Schultz one of these days about what he can do with his billions.
Joyce, let me play for you what the former federal prosecutor in charge of that office, David Kelly, said, because there's been all this attention. You just heard Trump Jr. bad-mouthing the office. Now, they have at times been criticized for just how aggressive they are. Take a look. Let me ask you about a criticism that's been lodged against the current district, that they have a New York taste for going after high-profile defendants. Your response?
I don't buy that. I don't think you go after a case, just for the sake of being high profile. Often the case is, if it's high profile, it's good because it sends a message to the public that you're doing, that there's no one above the law, that the rule of law stands strong.
Joyce, your view of this pivotal office and the new reporting that Trump wants to keep his lawyers around just for them?
Southern District of New York has the reputation for being aggressive. They also have the reputation for being smart and for ensuring that justice gets done. And if they have to play a role in this sort of passion play, I'd set them up to be the Avengers. They'll do the right thing here. I've never known, and I mean this seriously, the Southern District of New York to go after people out of a sense of vendetta. What they do is they investigate allegations of criminal conduct. They do it very well. And you can't expect the defendants who are on the receiving end of their work to be laudatory about that. Yeah. Of course they draw criticism.
Fair point. Do you have one more reference before we go? One more cup of coffee before the road, if you will, Bob Dylan?
Oh, well, you like verses? What? In short and matters quasi-international and criminal, Kuzmani is the modern of a modern major general.
Wow.
That's what I got for you.
Wow. You know, the thing about doing the news in 2019 is you just never know what's going to happen. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.